Mr. President, this is Dr. Barney Graham, who's the chief of the group that made the vaccine. And this is Dr. Kazmekia Corbett. Who is very much involved in this process.
Well,
Barney's going to tell you a little bit about what I was alluding to just a moment ago.
please. I'd like to tell you the 20-year history, but I'll just go back 10 years.
I actually like to think that I'm responding to a second pandemic with all of the variants. It seems like we're working just about as hard as we were last year.
Because we didn't have any access to the transition, as you know, Doc, we talked about it. And so we thought, and we were led to believe, there was a lot more vaccine available than there was. And when I said in the first 100 days, I guaranteed, I promised that we would get 100 million shots in people's arms. Everybody said, oh, you can't do that, it's amazing. Now I'm getting, why can't you get more? Now we're getting a lot more, as we, on average. It could be significantly more. But to get to the place where these guys legitimately always ask me is, when will we have enough vaccine to get 300 plus million people? Mm-hmm. And even though we've increased by close to 600 million promises of the vaccine, we're going to be in a position where it's going to be, it's not going to be by the end of the summer.
117, that's the UK variant, that we feel the modelers are going to tell us it's going to be dominant by the end of March. The vaccines that we have now look pretty good against being able to prevent infection and certain disease. The South African variant is a little bit more problematic. It diminishes the capability of the vaccines to induce the viruses, the antibodies that would suppress it. But it doesn't completely eliminate it. And we know that from studies with other vaccines in South Africa, where it went down to maybe 50% efficacy, but it was very good in preventing severe disease. In fact, there were no hospitalizations or deaths. Bottom line is, we take it seriously, we're following it, and if necessary, we're able to make boosts that reflect the variants in question.
Are you upset with the state of the rollout before you got here, Mr. President?
No, I'm not. I think, look, these folks have been absolutely amazing. What I was upset with is not having all the facts that were available to the last outfit that we did not know. So we were under the distinct impression there was significantly more vaccine available to begin to be distributed, that it was a distribution problem, which it is and was, but that wasn't the main problem. It was having enough, and then getting, there's a big difference, the logistical difference between having a vaccine sent to the States in bulk and refrigerated and having vaccinators with the paraphernalia to put it into a vial and stick it in someone's arm is a very different and logistical problem, difficult problem.
Dr. Francis Collins and Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Good afternoon, folks. Had a little discussion with my friends behind me, Dr. Collins and Dr. Fauci, about whether or not I should take my mask off. And the truth is, although we're more than 10 feet away, I think it's important that I not. It's no secret that the vaccination program was in much worse shape than my team and I anticipated. We were under the impression and been told that we had a lot more resources than we did when we came into office. While scientists did their job in discovering vaccines in record time, my predecessor be very blunt about it, did not do his job in getting ready for the massive challenge of vaccinating hundreds of millions of Americans. He didn't order enough vaccines. He didn't mobilize enough people to administer the shots. He didn't set up a federal vaccine centers where eligible people could go and get their shots. When I became president 3 weeks ago, America had no plan to vaccinate most of the country. It was a big mess. It's going to take time to fix, to be blunt with you. We bought more vaccines. 2 weeks ago, I directed Jeff Science, who's here with me, my COVID-19 response coordinator, to work with the Department of Health and Human Services to purchase more vaccines. Just this afternoon, we signed the final contracts for 100 million more Moderna and 100 million more Pfizer vaccines. We're also able to move up the delivery dates with an additional 200 million vaccines to the end of July, faster than we expected. And in further good news, both companies agreed, and we're now contractually obligated to expedite delivery of 100 million doses that were promised by the end of June to deliver them by the end of May. For hearing that, thank you from the bottom of my heart.